Hi everyone, so we're on to the final two parts of the worksheet. This part here with right below the chart, this is where we're going to identify different intervals using the information that we've gathered above. The bottom part is where we're going to notate an interval given a bottom note and the interval size and quality. So we're going to first focus on this video on this part. By the way, this particular interval, just cross that out. That doesn't exist. That was a mistake from B to D double flat. That can't be described in the way that we have. So just cross that out. Pretend it's not there. Okay. Let's take a look at one of these examples to find the size and the quality. So for example, I'm in bass clef. I have an F and a G flat. Remember, the first thing to do is figure out the size. And for the size, I don't really need to know anything about the flats or sharps. All I'm looking at is the letter names. In this case, the letter names are F and G. Okay? And so I'm counting up from the bottom to the top on the musical alphabet to see how many letters this interval encompasses. And of course, from F to G, 1, 2. Okay, so it's 2 letters. So this is going to be some kind of a second. Okay, so that's already half the answer. The next thing, we have to find the quality. Okay, for the quality, remember that there are lots of different seconds that we figured out. Okay, and it depends on how many half steps there are. Right? So naturally, the next thing we need to do is figure out how many half steps are there between these two notes. And this is where we're going to put the accidentals back in play. Okay, so remember that this flat is associated with this G because the middle of the flat is lined up with the G. So we're looking for how many half steps are there between F and G flat. If you take a look at the keyboard here, so for this question, you're always referring to the keyboard. From F to G flat, okay, that's 1 half step. That's 1 half step. So this is a second that has 1 half step. So from our chart, I know that a second that only has 1 half step is going to be a minor second. Okay, so the answer here for this is a minor second. Let's take a look at another example here. Let's say this one. Okay, so you have 2 notes. This is in treble clef. Okay, so this is going to be first we're going to look at the size again. So this is regardless of any accidentals, sharps, or naturals. So I'm just naming these notes in terms of the letter name. So the letter names here are A and then also A. Okay, from A to A, we're counting up the musical alphabet. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A from the bottom to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is going to be an octave. By the way, we write octaves with the number 8 and the letters VE. Okay, that stands for octave. So that's great. That's the size. Now we have to figure out the quality. And that's where we're going to put the accidentals back in play. So this is an A sharp and then this is an A natural. Remember, the A natural just means that there are no sharps or flats. It's just the white key A. Okay. The next thing we have to do is figure out how many half steps there are between A and A sharp. Again, it's counting from the bottom to the top. Notice that the A sharp here is not the one that's a half step above this one. Okay, it's the one that's the next one. Okay, the next one up, so it's actually an octave above that. Okay, so you have to count accordingly on the keyboard. Okay, so let's start with A, and we're going to the next A sharp. Okay, so from A, the first A sharp. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So there are 13 half steps between this A and this A sharp. Again, I'm starting with this A. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I know that this is an octave that has 13 half steps. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my chart and say, okay, in the octaves column, right, the kind of octave that has 13 half steps is an augmented octave. Okay, so that is what this is. This is an augmented octave. And that's how you identify the interval for 2 notes.